Hello and welcome to Let Pat Play, an ongoing YouTube series where I, Pat Bear, play video games and post them to YouTube. Cool, cool, cool. Now, I have in the past played Hearthstone on stream, but I haven't done it in Let Pat Play, so I'm doing it now. Actually, this video and the following video will both be for that. I'm going to be going away uh, next weekend, so I'm going to record these back to back. And I thought it would be a fun time to do this because there is going to be another expansion coming out in December, which is the last expansion of 2018. And it will change my decks. Now, it probably won't change. One of the two decks we'll be looking at. I'll be looking at one today and one in the next video, which we can look at now and go to my collection and take a look at them. I just have, as you can see in my collection, I don't have that many decks right now. I like to get rid of stuff. I have, it says Custom Hunter. This is the Death Rattle Hunter that a lot of people have been playing. It's a top tier deck. I'm not great with it. I don't really enjoy playing it, so I don't really mess with that too much. We will be looking at Quest Hunter today, and we will look at Tespionage in the next video. Tespionage probably won't change much. We'll take a look at that real quick. The new expansion, there might be a card that helps with it, but really, Tespionage is pretty balanced, this version of this deck. You know, it's all about playing Tess. Valera is just to keep you alive, and various other things that keep you alive. So things, if there's a really good card draw mechanic card that maybe you can use instead of Gadgets and Auctioneer, which is 6 costs, and there's a lower cost draw card mechanic, maybe that'll swap in that. But it's pretty balanced and pretty great. There's other versions of this deck that use other cards. We'll get into that in the next video. Quest Hunter, I'm looking for things to swap out. I would love to get rid of this Elemental. I mean, it does help, but I'd rather have a Beast. One of the things about this is that our big combos, the things we really like in this deck, using Toxmonger to make one cost card poisonous. Well, if I get something that does damage like Elven Archer, have more options for that, another one cost like that, that would be great. Dire Mole is fantastic, being a 1/3. I could be convinced to get rid of Argent Squire, although, like I said, Toxmonger combos are great. Dire Frenzy is give a beast 3/3, shuffle 3 copies of that into your deck. If we had another charge 1-drop, I don't think we will. I mean, I know what the cards are coming, right? But there exists the possibility that there could be a card that comes out that would be very helpful for this deck. This is the deck we're doing here. Rexar is great. So you might ask yourself, Pat, what is this deck? What does it do? Well, okay, so we have the Marsh Queen. It is a quest. It will always be in your hand at the start, pre-mulligan phase. You play this on turn 1. You play 7 1-cost minions. You summon Queen Carnessa. Carnessa is a 5-drop, 5 mana cost, 8/8 that shuffles 15 1-cost 3/2 beasts that have the effect, the battle cry effect of draw a card. Not draw another beast, draw any card. It's fun. You have to overwhelm. It's the hope is that on turn 5 you're playing Marsh Queen, you're playing Queen, and then you're getting things like Toxmonger, which is giving you your 3/2s poisonous. Maybe you have Shaw, which is giving you Rush. I mean, if you had both, if somehow your opponent didn't clear either of these, and you have Rush poisonous minions, that's great. You could have Tundra Rhino, which gives you charge. You throw a Tundra Rhino down, and then you throw 5 3/2s down, or not. Suddenly you're doing a ton of burst damage. That's charge. Or Houndmaster Shaw is giving you rush. There's a lot of things. Eaglehorn Bow is just to keep you alive. Animal Cannon keep you alive. Keleseth is, hey, Keleseth is a great early card, but also in this deck, you play Keleseth late in the game, suddenly your 3/2s are 4/3s. That's incredible. And then your Dire Frenzies are even bigger. Feral Gibber is kind of just in this deck because it's fun to have in the deck. It doesn't rarely. If you're playing this on turn one and you're up against a class that has no ability on turn two to clear a 1/1, you might get some value out of this. It's a helpful card generator. Really, you want any one cost early. Firefly is clearly fantastic because you're not only playing a 1/2, you are getting a 1/2 in your hands, and maybe you can even play at the same turn. Dire Mole is going to stick around. Argent Swire is probably going to stick around or take resources from your opponent to be able to do. Let's get into a game because I've been talking now for too long. Um, let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna play at least a couple games of Quest Hunter. We are towards the end of the month, but not right at the end of the month. So there will be people playing. We are ranked 19. I fully expect to be ranked 20, not 18. I do not expect to hit 18 in these plays. I expect to lose several matches because Quest Hunter is not a game. It's not going to just have a bunch of wins. It's going to have some wins, but it's not going to, roll over people. You can, but also I'm going to lose because that's what happens in Hearthstone. You lose as well. I am using a deck tracker. I'm going to look that up. It is HS Replays, hsreplay.net. It is their deck tracker. It is very helpful to use. I'll put a link in the show description. It does a lot of stuff that I don't worry about. Sorry, but that other thing popped up. That was annoying. All right, Argent Squire is great. We don't need Houndmaster Shaw. That's a late game card. As you can see, we don't have a lot of expensive cards because we do want to play cards in the late game. And this is perfect. This is fantastic. We are definitely going to coin. No one drop from our opponent, which is a rogue, which is great. At this point, we are assuming that we're going to make some assumptions. We're going to play our coin, and we are going to play our Firefly, which means that turn two we have options. I often like to save our Elven Archer to use that one damage effectively and not just like go face with it. Argent Squire is a go-to. Okay, backstab. That's a great turn for us. So I'm most likely going to play Flame Elemental and Argent Squire. There's some idea that I could play Feral, but Feral is going to die to that. So is it something I want to keep alive? No, I'm going to wait on it. I'm going to wait until I have flooded the board in the next turn. Because next turn, I'm definitely going to play these two. So I might as well just do that. I didn't mention Tolvir Warden. It's a good body on the board. It's a 3/5. It should stick around for a little bit. And it does the job of drawing 2 1-cost minions. Later in the game, that's going to get you your 3/2s that you want. That makes sense for that. Okay, so next turn, hopefully next turn we will have a beast. We won't have a beast in play next turn. Turn 5, we could have a beast because neither of these are beasts. We have drawn none of our beasts. We have not drawn our dire moles. We have not drawn our boars. Also, so we're going to do this, and we're just going to do that. I'm going to save Elven Archer. If we were clearing, I would use it, but we're not clearing. And the two-face damage is just, let's put a little more damage on there. Rogue doesn't have a lot of healing. Okay, so this is an Academic Espionage deck. Wasn't too sure with Stonehill Defender. You don't often see Stonehill Defender in there. But this makes sense that Stonehill Defender is in this deck because it's not a Death Rattle deck and it's not a Kingsbane deck, which is great. We will clear with Elven Archer, and we will play Keleseth. tells us just good on our board. It makes all our 1-drops even stronger. We had the mana. I'm hoping to pull something that I can Dire Frenzy in this next turn. I also can just play this and draw 2 1-costs, but I'm hoping I draw 1 cost that I can beef up. All right. As far as Hunter cards go, that wasn't too bad. Great. So now I have a Stone Tusk Boar. We're going to play our Stone Tusk Boar, which is going to give us this. We're going to Dire Frenzy it, which we now have 3 5/5s with charge in our deck, and we can clear that off. We can hit that, and then we know that turn 6, we are guaranteed to fulfill our quest because we will pull 2 1-costs, guaranteed. That's also a great Hunter card for the gift. It was 3/3. Hopefully we don't see any spell damage. Great. So we got our 4/4. I forgot this, which is great. I guess it didn't buff it to a 5/5. It made it a 4/4. Huh. Okay. Well, let's do this. Now, you're saying, Pat, you could have just played the boar and you could have completed your quest, and you're right. But I would rather draw these out and then have a little bit of a hand, and then next turn do this and play that. And then also, if I happen to draw my other Dire Frenzy, I will wait even longer. Okay, so this is a 4/4. It's not a 5/5. We'll play this like this isn't a card that complete the quest. We get the quest. We still have things to play as well, which is very helpful. We're going to clear this, and we're just going to go face. Let's give our opponent, let's keep the 5/2 alive that way. Or make them have to spend a lot to clear it. Great. That was a bad turn for our opponent. We're doing this. Our Warden now is more likely going to pull some stuff that pulls some stuff. We've got a lot of options. I am going to save the Elven Archer for the hope that we get Toxmonger. But we will do this. Now, if we do attack face with Feral, we are... if we do attack face with Feral, we are just going to get a 1/1. But if we have Toxmonger, we get a 1/1 with poison, which is great. So it's just building some combos. Spectre Cutlass, okay, yeah. So this deck isn't like my espionage deck. It's not a Tespionage deck. Okay. Well, that's an interesting card to sap. We still have lethal on board. And yeah, our opponent is just having fun. Okay. If our opponent does not concede, we will play Queen again, which is no, okay. Playing Queen twice is awesome. I rarely get to do it. I didn't think our opponent was going to let us. Well, we won a game. That's cool. And it didn't take forever. And I got some victories there. I should mention, as you can see, there's some information. I didn't really talk too much about the deck tracker. I do recommend using a deck tracker. You just have to link your account. HS Replay is well known and trusted, so I'm fine with using them. List your decks. You can also look up decks. You can see your win-loss records and your win rate against each one. I have a 50% win rate with Quest Hunter right now. Tespionage, I have a 40% win rate, which is great. And that's just from tracking. I played both those decks longer than that. I just sometimes don't have my tracker up. Flanking Strike. I never talked about Flanking Strike. which is deal 3, summon a 3/3 wolf. Great if you already have Tundra Rhino on the board. That's fantastic. That's huge. This is also one of our only like ways to deal with our opponent, and get some face damage in or help mitigate their the opponent's field, along with our Eaglehorn Bow. Tracking's just good card in there to look for things. Sometimes you really feel bad because you're like, well, I got the one I needed to complete the quest, but I just gave up Death Star Stalker Rexar. And Rexar's like giving you 5 armor. All right, we're going to coin Diremol. Hey, honestly, Diremol gets us there. It trades with things on the board, and if they have to use Swipe to get rid of it, that's awesome. Next turn, we know we're going to do Argent Squire. I wish that we didn't have either of these. It really sucks that we have 2. Rexar. Rexar's great. Honestly, you just want Rexar. So obviously, Swipe is really bad here. Our 1/1 does survive a swipe, but we're playing the cards we had. I think this is a better move than hitting face. We're trying to get to our completing our quest. Great, no swipe. That's awesome. And what are you going to do? Are you going to hit the Argent Squire? No, you're not. Okay. There was a chance they might go for the Argent Squire to do a next turn swipe. We don't have a play here, which sucks. We most likely don't want to play Shaw here. Your other minions have Rush. Not that Shaw has Rush, because we don't have any 0-cost minions, so it doesn't make any sense to just play Shaw alone. If our board got cleared here with a swipe, maybe we would. So we have our turn 5 Warden. We have our turn 6 if it doesn't look like our 1 costs are going to make sense. Playing on turn 6 our Rush and our 1 cost that we get on turn 5 makes a lot of sense. Our opponent is just ramping at this point, has not made any moves. I have there's some options of what we're going to be facing here. Honestly, we don't want turn 9. We don't want turn 10. We would love to win faster than that. And of course, they're getting, our opponent's getting to turn 10 faster than we are. Okay, went for the 1 to draw. That's good for us. We're going to do some drawing of our own. All right. So our next turn, we can play Shaw. Of course, we already had Charge in there, but we also get 2 damage, basically, at Elven Archer. And we get closer to our quest. I'm hoping for something like a 1/3. We don't need Rush at this point because our opponent didn't even... Okay, so our opponent didn't even go face. Our opponent could have gone face. That's weird. So, honestly, we're not going to play Shaw here. We're going to Animal Companion. That's great. And we are going to play our other 1-drops, get to 5/7. That means in our next turn, we can play Warden, our other Warden, get 2 1-costs out of our deck, play both those 1-costs, complete our quest. We complete our quest next turn with 7 mana. Okay. Wow, this is a great combo. Do you have any? You must have other moves. You only have 1 more minion to kill before, unless you kill your own, I guess. Okay. And of course, Death Knight, not a spell card. So I would have loved to have seen these be 1/2 poisonous because we would have just dropped Rexar, just automatically drop Rexar. We don't. This is not a beast, so they're basically saying you could make the Scarab Beetle that. Which, why would I do that? But so we're gonna complete. We're gonna get the cards we need for our quest. We're gonna save our Darmal because we can frenzy it, and we'll just do that. Luckily, the Firefly really helps us complete that. We can also do Rush with our Darmal and just throw it in, depending. And we're just gonna do that. We're going to encourage our opponent to play some spells and damage, themselves. Now, the turn 9 dream is within our reach, so we might be waiting for turn 9, play Queen, and Dire Frenzy our Queen, which is going to put an incredible, that's nonsense, right? Because we're so close to the dream, I think, yeah, and we have other plays to make on this. I think we're going to live that dream. Yeah, I definitely think we're going to live the dream. We are going to play. Yeah, let's play Shaw, and then let's clear with our bow. This is the best time to play our bow. Now, this is not charge. This is rush. So now our Darmal cannot go face. But we have other tools here. We still have a charge left on this. Okay. Hey, that's six damage. Went to our Shaw, which we don't love to see, but it's still better than other possibilities, right? And now we are going to live one of our combo dreams. Elven Archer sticks around for Toxmonger, which is the other dream combo. We now have 3 11/11s that put 15 1-cost 3/2s in our deck. And we still have Keleseth. And if we draw Keleseth, we can make all our 3/2s late in the game. We can make all our 3/2s even bigger. Okay, we naturalize one of our 11/11s. Thank you for letting us have cards that will draw us into even more cards. If you manage to get something on the board, we still had Rexar. I actually wish this would have been later. So we are going to fill our board here, hoping that we get Tundra Rhino, hoping that we get another Queen. Okay. We're definitely going to play Keleseth and make all our other cards even bigger. That's just, why wouldn't we do that? And both these cards I would love to see with Toxmonger. All these cards would be great with Toxmonger. And we're going to save it. And that way we also save a little room on the board. Now, because it's a 1/1. I'd much rather play a 3/2 in the next turn if my opponent decides not to clear anything. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to play this because I also have the ability to play Rexar. So if we run into a thing where suddenly, weirdly enough, there are a bunch of 1/5s on the board, we can help do some damage to that. Between these two cards, we can do a ton of damage. We also have our weapon, which we will keep. We have 22 cards in our deck. 3 of those cards add 15 more cards each in our deck. We are not losing in fatigue. We are not hitting fatigue, I should say. We might lose in fatigue, I guess. Okay. Okay. All right. That's a fun combo. We're going to take the 3 damage and just clear it off. We could clear our minions to add new minions to our deck, to our hand, but I'd rather go face with them and take a little bit of damage. We'll save that for later. I'm really hoping we get Tundra Rhino. That's what I'm hoping for more than anything, is to get Tundra Rhino, so this is all go face. We did not get that. We'll save that for later. We could damage one of our own minions to make room on the board for a 3/3. We don't want to do that. Our hand is pretty full, but it's feeling pretty good right now. As I said, I am right now hoping I can pull Tundra out and get some damage in. I mean, now I don't need it, but for the next reload, it would be helpful to have. If I get tracking, I'm looking for Queen. Okay, none of this is great. I could just Rexar here and start making beasts, but that doesn't feel right or good. I think we're just going to freeze. It means that on our next turn we have to we're going to flanking strike our 1/1 next turn if our opponent doesn't play anything. But then also we also win. Yeah, we win. I mean, okay, Earth Scales helps, but no. Okay. Our opponent is just drawing to a board clear. A 4-cost board clear. A 5-cost? What do you... Okay. You got 5 mana. Alright. You have 4 mana. Okay. Okay. We have four damage we can do here between our hero power, our deal 1 damage, and our charge. So we have 4 we can do to face, plus our board. Let's just see here. So we do not have lethal. So what we will do is we will do this. We will do that. Okay. So, they think they survive for another turn. They did. We would have had lethal theoretically. We had to clear some board if we did damage to ourselves. There's a way that we won there. I mean, we still have 1 damage with Elven Archer. So I did completely misplay this. I still think I win. 4 health there. Yeah, I still feel like we won here. That was a misplay on my part. There were options I could have done instead of getting rid of to get Zen Auctioneer. I could have gotten rid of something on my own board to make more room. If I had room for Elven Archer, we would have won there. I did not play it as well as I could have. All right, but our opponent is still taking the loss. I don't know if that deck plays. I assume that deck plays the Plague and summons a bunch of 1/5s, but we did have face damage. All right, well, that was about a half an hour here of this video. So that's 2 wins. That's unlikely, honestly. I'm just showing you what that deck is like. That's Quest Hunter. As I said, the next video will be about Tespionage. I just like having it a little bit of like, oh, this is what it looked like before the next expansion. And this is how I play Hearthstone for folks that are like want to learn a little bit about it. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube if you don't already. Leave a comment, leave a like, tell a friend. And I will see you on the next Let Pat Play. Goodbye.